Humanity Matters.
Welcome. My name is Arnie Herz, and this is Habits of a Whole Heart podcast as part of the Humanity Matters podcast series on hmTv. This is my second episode with Julie Mayer, an old college friend who has become a healer and a certified hypnotist. And in our first episode, we talked all about healing, energy healing, groundedness, and tools that enable us to move from being the effect to the cause so that we become empowered instead of being reactive and impulsive to what's happening in the world and reacting to everything. Or in other words, being the effect, we can become the cause. By being calm and centered, it allows us to bring that energy into our lives that gives us a greater sense of meaning and wholeness, and also more significantly, or as significantly, allows us to have a deep impact on other people's lives. Julie is now back for the second episode, which we're going to break into three parts. The first part is we're going to talk about hypnosis. Many of my guests have been fascinated by this topic. Julie is the first person to talk to us about this, and we're going to learn a little bit about hypnosis. The second part is going to be an actual hypnosis process that Julie's going to lead us through, and then we're going to do a debrief. And we'll warn you again at the time of part two of this, which is that if you're in a car or you're in a place that requires your attention, do not listen to the hypnosis aspect. You should only do that while you're sitting quietly at home where you could concentrate and focus, because this is a very, very powerful tool, and it's not to be used while your attention is needed elsewhere. So very, very important. Julie, welcome back for episode number 2.
Thank you, Arnie. Thank you so much again for having me. I'm really enjoying this so much.
Oh, thank you very much. And so, I've heard about hypnosis, and I've done many different types of healing. I've never gone through a hypnosis experience. What is hypnosis?
So hypnosis is a state of relaxation where the body is very relaxed and concentration. So both the body and the mind go into relaxed states. And, hypnotic states happen very naturally. We go in and out of trance or hypnotic states, also known as a trance state, multiple times a day. I'll give you some examples. Like when you're daydreaming, that's a hypnotic state. When you get lost in a movie or a good book, when you're driving your car, sometimes, you're driving and it's so automatic, and then you get to your destination and you're like, wow, I didn't even really remember, making that right turn. So we're in and out. It's a very natural state. And it gives us the ability to access the subconscious or the part of the mind that we're not usually aware of. And that's the part of the mind where a lot of our long-held beliefs and habits and automatic reactions, patterns, a lot of those things live in that part of the mind. So when we do hypnosis, we make the unconscious more conscious, right? Our conscious mind can be aware of the unconscious, and that is really, really helpful.
I love that explanation, and that this is a natural state that we experience, so and it's beneficial. So, what is the benefit of the conscious mind becoming aware of the unconscious? Maybe it's unconscious for a reason, and certain things are best left unsaid, as they say.
Right, that's true. And sometimes it is good when we're not aware of certain things. And actually, as we go through life experiences, we often, because we're adapting to situations, or if we've gone through a really overwhelming traumatic experience, sometimes it is in the best interest of us in that moment, in that time, to kind of put things away a little bit, not look at it, because we needed to either to survive or to thrive or just to take care of ourselves. And then sometimes we find as we go on in life that those things that we're not looking at, those things that are in the unconscious part of our minds, are somehow holding us back. And that's when it's a good thing. When we have that realization that, wow, something's holding me back here, I'm not quite sure what it is, that's where it can be really helpful to sort of explore that a little bit, to get curious about what it might be. And it's done in hypnosis. It's done in a very safe, you've got a safe container to explore these kinds of things. And it's never to like relive an overwhelming experience. It's really to kind of from a more detached perspective, touch it gently so that you can really like pull out the learning or pull out the wisdom from the experience and let go of the emotional charge that might still be there. And then that learning or that wisdom, it's almost like that becomes like nourishment for our soul, nourishment for our growth. So that's where it can be really, really helpful.
So it's like taking a previous experience that we perceived in a negative way that created a certain fear or inhibition or anger that is then causes us to act or not act, hold back in certain areas in ways that aren't our best interests. So for example, someone who wants to complete a book is afraid of no one's going to read the book. And so that fear of failure or being invisible holds them back from moving that forward. I'm only smiling here because this is the first episodes we did earlier today with my prior guest, and or other things. This is where if we could just sort of clear that and get past that fear, then we can show up in the world in a more full way. Is that what you're saying?
Exactly. And that's how it really helps us to be to stand in the fullness of who we are, who we're meant to be, by clearing out those areas that are holding us back somehow. Okay,
great. So now you're going to, is there anything else you want to share before we go into the example of the actual hypnosis about hypnotherapy?
Just that it's sort of like exercise for the mind, where you can really safely explore doing things differently in a hypnosis session, which is really cool because you get the experience of it without actually doing it. And it lets the mind be a lot more flexible. I think sometimes people have like misconceptions about hypnosis because they've seen people on stage. And I think the main thing I would say about that is hypnosis, you're in control when you are the client. In fact, you have even more control than you normally do. It's not a state of giving your control over to anyone else. You're not more gullible than you normally would be. I think those are some misconceptions, and I think people kind of get scared. But it's actually a state of more control than you normally have because you're really getting into the unconscious, and you're able to direct it more directly.
And that's why I assume it's important to do hypnosis, not with some person on a stage, but rather with a certified hypnosis coach like you are, and in a process whereby you have the client's best interests in doing that.
Exactly. And with the intention of healing. And I always have clients like have an intention for the session. What do they want to achieve? And that's very important too.
Okay, so let's dive in. And again, for those of you just tuning in right here, Julie is going to take me and all of us through an experience of hypnosis. And this is to be done only when you're sitting quietly in your home at a time where you can give 100% focus to this exercise. Is not to be done while you're driving a car or other activities, because it really does bring you into a different state of consciousness, and that you're going to need your faculties to be focused on this. And it would be dangerous to try to operate a car or cook dinner or something while you're just listening. And you also won't be able to experience the benefit of hypnosis, which is to center oneself and calm oneself down. It's not something you can do while juggling. This requires true focus. So that's a warning here. And Julie, it's all yours.
Great. Thank you for saying that, Arnie. So I thought for this session, we would do a hypnosis for learning how to relax more deeply. I think it's something that everybody needs right now, especially at this time of the year and with everything going on in the world. And hypnosis is an enhanced learning state. So one thing that you are learning in any hypnosis session is how to go into hypnosis more easily, more deeply, and more readily. So with that in mind, I just want you to get comfortable. Make sure you're comfortable where you're sitting. Good. We're just going to start by settling into the body. Just allowing your awareness to move in, to move down. And just be aware of your breath. Gently moving in, gently moving out. Breath moving in, and breath moving out. That's right. And just see if you can feel a sense of expansion. Breathing in and letting go as you breathe out. And I don't know if you relax more easily from the top of your head down to the bottoms of your feet, or from the bottoms of your feet up to the top of your head. Just inviting in a flow of softening through your body. Allowing your forehead and all the little muscles around your eyes to soften. And then invite that softening to flow down to your shoulders, relaxing your jaw. Allow your arms to get heavy. Good. And as each area relaxes, you go even deeper. Noticing that with each breath, you drift, allowing that relaxation to double and flow even further inside. And be aware of yourself sinking deeper and deeper into this calm and peaceful state. That's right. And as you sit here listening to these words, you can imagine walking or floating down a staircase. And there are 10 steps. With each step, you easily and naturally relax more deeply now. 10, drifting. 9, deeper still. 8, each step softening. 7, deeper inside. 6, 5, halfway down. 4, heavy. 3, so deeply relaxed. 2, almost there. And 1, all the way down. And you find yourself in a beautiful, quiet place. A beautiful beach. And the sand is warm and soft underneath your feet. And you feel the warmth of the sun and the breeze on your skin. And you see how the light of the sun just sparkles and dances on the water. You hear the sound, the gentle sound of the waves as they spread and flow across the sand. And the waves find a gentle, natural rhythm, quite like the rhythm of your own breath. That's right. And you feel a profound relaxation through your body. Every muscle loosening. And you continue drifting along, just comfortably enjoying the peace and calm. I wonder if you begin to notice a change in the atmosphere around you as you radiate a calmness, a warmth, moving all around you and through you, moving into every cell, every particle, every fiber of your being. A deep, deep sense of peace. That's right. And as you feel that peace flowing through your body, let's anchor that feeling of calm and peace by just very lightly touching your thumbs and your index fingers together. So as you feel the peace and calm flowing through your body, just gently touch your thumbs and your index fingers together, just locking the peace and calm within you. Good. And then just gently let your fingers separate. And let's do that again. We'll do it 2 more times. As you feel the calm, the relaxation moving through your body, gently touch your thumbs and your index fingers together. And then softly just let it go. And then just 1 more time, feeling that calm and peaceful feeling as the thumbs and the index fingers gently press together. And then softly let it go as we've locked that into place. And you can come back to this peaceful, quiet place, either by just naturally remembering or by softly pressing your thumbs and your index fingers together. That's right. Good. So now it's time to begin to drift back to the staircase. And you'll go up the 10 stairs. And by the time you reach number 10, you'll be fully back, fully awake. 1, gently rising. 2, awareness returning. 3, grounding. 4, breath expanding. 5, integrating the relaxation on all levels of your being. 6, more awake. 7, feeling whole. 8, rejuvenated and energized. 9, almost back. And 10, fully back, eyes open, feeling complete and whole and very, very relaxed. And coming back slowly and gently, feeling your feet on the floor. And whenever you're ready, you can just slowly open your eyes. Well done. You know, the amazing thing about hypnosis is that you will continue to integrate and even deepen the effects of the relaxation, you know, over the coming days and even when you're sleeping in dream time. Good. Taking a few more deep breaths to bring yourself fully back into the room. Good. Are you back, Arnie?
I am. It was extraordinary. First of all, I thought it was 2 minutes, and it was 13 minutes, I believe. So that was amazing. It was like, you know, I've spent a lot of time meditating, so it felt like it was a form of meditation, and but very, very powerful and very calming.
Good. Yeah, you did really well. I mean, I could see I was, you know, watching you and did get into a very, very relaxed, deep state. That was amazing. I feel like it is very similar to meditation, but it just has a little bit more of a purpose to it or an intention behind it. But it is a similar state, and be curious to see how you notice yourself just being more relaxed, you know, in life.
Well, I'm looking forward to it too. So I have 2 quick questions for you before we wrap up here. Is this something that you could do every day? Do you recommend it every day? I mean, I'm thinking for our listeners, just listen to this 12-minute hypnosis on a daily basis to experience deep relaxation, or is it not something you should be doing every day?
I think something like this for relaxation, you could for sure do it every day. Yeah, it's like going to into a really deep, relaxing meditation. Yeah, this is why I wanted to use more of a general one for the podcast. It's because this is something that's people can do whenever they want to.
And yes, of course. And it's quick. And my second question is, in other forms of hypnosis, instead of a relaxation, I'm assuming there would be a form where you would speak you'd ask questions and you could process things, or think things through instead of trying to relax your processing. Is that right?
Exactly. You are all the while very, very relaxed, but even in that relaxed state, and I probably should have mentioned this at the beginning, even when you're very relaxed in hypnosis, you're still able to talk and communicate. So yeah, in those types of sessions, there is more talking involved. Yeah.
Beautiful. Well, Julie, thank you so much. I feel very calm, and I hope to be able to hold on to this. I'm going to practice this on a regular basis, and I really want to thank you for sharing your expertise, your wisdom, your care, your warmth, and for those of you who want to contact Julie, it's in the notes of the podcast. It's Julie at juliemayorcoaching.com, and Mayer is Mayer. So again, it's Julie at juliemayorcoaching.com, and you can find her at juliemayorcoaching.com if you're interested in exploring any of these healing techniques that Julie has shared over the last 2 podcast episodes. So Julie, thank you again for being with us and for putting us in this very profound state of calmness, and that we could certainly use in our world today. So thank you. And for all of our listeners, thank you for tuning in once again to Habits of a Whole Heart on hmTV through the Humanity Matters series. We would love for you to follow us and to expand the impact we're trying to make here by telling others about the podcast. You could follow me, Arnie Herz, on Facebook, Instagram, X, through social media channels, or through my website called Habits of a Whole Heart. Thank you very much, and have a great day, everyone.